We got breaking news in the NBA world, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Knicks have re-signed and Tom Thibodeau and gave him a 3-year extension. I'm Bobby, Steve-O here with me, big bro down at the bottom. Y'all know we're gonna talk about it, break it down right after this.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You are now tuned in to another episode of NBA Central. I'm Bobby. I'm joined by Steve-O and Big Bro. If you tuned in with us today, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well as we bring y'all these breaking news today. Big Bro, we gonna start off with you since I ain't seen you in a minute. How you feeling about this signing of Tom Thibodeau, getting him a 3-year extension with the New York Knicks, and what does that mean for the East?
First of all, it's good to be back. It's good to see you guys, man. I know I'll be the one that's always AWOL, but it's good to be back, man. Tom Thibodeau, looking at what the New York Knicks are doing, all the signings that they've done, all the trades that they've done, the way they've built this team, the players are bought in, the GM, they're all bought in, and it feels like they're building the right team for Tom Thibodeau. They got dogs out there defensively that's going to go out there and leave it all on the court. We saw it this year when they went out there and made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And hey, well, almost to the Eastern Conference Finals. They fell short because of injuries. But in my opinion, this is good. You don't build this team and then not keep the coach that they're playing for. These guys are playing for Tom Thibodeau, and we know from experience what he can do as a coach. As Chicago Bulls fans, we saw him do it in Minnesota. He's been successful, at least regular season wise, everywhere that he's gone. So I think this is really, really good for the Knicks.
For sure, Steve-O.
I think it's something we've seen coming. We've seen the moves that they made and over the offseason. We knew that they're trying to get that championship. That's what they're looking for. The city is thirsty for it, and they need it. And I'm glad they gave him this contract, and I hope this the contract that sends him on his way to being one of those greats, because it's time for him to win a chip
That's a fact.
on his own. It's just time. He got the best team he didn't had since probably talent wise since the Bulls area. And I mean, not to say that the Minnesota team wasn't good as well, but this is probably the best team he didn't had in a while. And it's probably his best shot. So this move, I seen it coming. I knew they was going to end up re-signing him because that team is just not that team without the DNA of Tom Thibodeau. But hopefully Tibbs gets it done on this contract, because you don't want to be known as that guy that just is good but not good enough.
I'm with you on that. And when we talk about the signing, I think it was well deserved. This guy, he came over, he had, and he's shown in the past that he can build cultures out. At one point, the New York Knicks was a total crap show. You know what I'm saying? And Tom Thibodeau, he came over there. Then they upgraded their front office and all that. And it seemed like these guys are now headed in the right direction. They had their chance at the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Unfortunately, injuries played a huge part in them not being able to go ahead and, going to that next level. But I think with the way that the roster has improved, I mean, there could be a little bit of talk about the loss of Isaiah Hartenstein, but I think overall they have improved. And I think they give themselves a really, really good shot of continuing on and taking steps forward as a New York Knicks franchise. They do got a lot of decisions still to come up with, you know what I'm saying, to see how they're going to fit, how this thing going to work out, and where does Julius Randle fit in all this. But as of right now, it's well-deserved by Coach Tom Thibodeau. Steve-O, where right now, currently, as it sits, where do you rank the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference?
3 or 4. They
Big
three before. Yeah, you got Boston, Philly. I put New York at 3.
And that's crazy because they all in the same division, and they can wind up being the top 3 teams in the East. And I put them right there at number 3. And I don't really have – I got to see how Philly going to look. This is like the 6th iteration of building around Joel Embiid, so I'm not necessarily sure how it's going to mesh with PG and so on and so forth. They could leapfrog Philly, so I think it's like between Philly and New York, I got them tied at 2 and 3 in the East right now. We could be overlooking some people in the moment. Cleveland, they keeping their core together.
Not
They were.
worried.
I'm just saying in terms of the regular season, top 4
Yeah,
in the East could be Cleveland. Indiana still gonna put up points. So
true.
we can't ignore those guys. And then Milwaukee is still Milwaukee. A healthy Dame and a healthy Giannis. And I don't know, have they done anything? Milwaukee, have they added
No,
any pieces?
No,
They
I
no.
think they added a shooter or something.
They
yeah.
got
So
They added
they
Gary
got a
Trent. That's it.
and they got a 6'4" guard that's 152 pounds that they drafted.
but yeah, so it seems like Boston, Philly, and New York are going to be the toast of the Eastern Conference next year, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I like what New York is doing to try to compete. They're not just standing pat. And unfortunately, Steve-O, I gotta say it, as a Bulls fan, you're looking at these people buying in to culture. They're buying into culture, and that's not something that we've done since we've had Tom Thibodeau.
You already know Big Kev was gonna find some way to have a correlation going on. But I'm with both of you guys. I think that when you talk about the Knicks, you can definitely make a case at 2, but 3 is cool as well. I think is right now as it stands, they gotta just go out there and perform, and we shall see. I believe when you go ahead and you got Jalen Brunson taking a pay cut, and you add him Bridges and all these guys, you give yourself a great opportunity. So what do you guys think about this? The medical staff though, with Tom Thibodeau, Steve-O, you said a really good thing when we talk about Tom Thibodeau. Lloyd say he hoped the Knicks got a good medical staff, and that's why we going next.
Definitely
Because the
gonna need
narrative
that.
around Thibodeau right now is he run his people to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, we know he got to get that chip, but what's going to be the first few steps of him not necessarily running his guys to the ground? Is he ever going to be able to escape that narrative?
Not unless he get a coach on his coaching staff next to him that he 100% respects. Because up until this point, I don't feel like he's had a counterpart with him that he looks to for direction or as some type of guide. Because Brunson daddy ain't telling his ass nothing. He needs somebody he respect. I don't know if it's somebody he worked with in Boston or
You
whatever, but
said
he needs
Brunson
somebody next
daddy.
to him.
That's
For
hilarious.
real though, like somebody next to him gotta be like, all right, this the time where, because we all know, like when it comes to everything X's and O's and every Tibbs got that shit. His main problem is game awareness, when rotations, and when to put people in and take people out. That's probably his most common flaw. So and at his older age, I don't think he's not gonna get away from that. So to counterpart to help that, you just need somebody next to him that he respect, that he gonna listen to tell his ass, sir, you do realize Julius Randle got a twisted ankle and he been playing 35 minutes, right?
Right. It's probably time to go sit down and have that leg kicked up. But how you looking at it, Kev?
I don't know. I think it might be a little bit overblown now compared to how he was with the Bulls or with
Yeah,
Minnesota.
he better.
Because yeah,
Yeah.
there were some players, like the Bulls had players that were playing a lot. Kobe White, I think, was leading the league in minutes for a great bulk of the season last year. So I don't think the Knicks were kind of running to the ground the way it was in the past for Thibodeau. But I understand where the question is coming from because they did suffer a lot of injuries. But I doubt it was just because of minutes. Julius Randle has just been injury prone pretty much his career, if we want to be honest about it. Jalen Brunson's a small guard who, you gonna get knocked to the floor and so on and so forth. So that comes with the territory. So I just think that, hey, these guys are gonna go out there and play their heart out for Tom Thibodeau, and that's what matters the most. And that's why they gave him this extension. Because the minutes thing, just from the last 3 or 4 seasons, I think Tom Thibodeau's calmed down quite a bit in running his players into the ground. But because he has that moniker already, it's gonna follow him for the rest of his career.
I got a quick one right back at you. Do you agree with Tom Thibodeau, Kev, when he said, "Who else you want me to play when all my guys are hurt?" I mean, he had players, but not necessarily the players that you can necessarily depend on in a playoff series. Do you agree with that, or do you disagree with that?
I mean, I agree with him. Like, who was it? DiVincenzo. He was having he was killing out there, and Josh Hart was out there killing. Josh Hart was out there getting rebounds a game, bro, as a guard in the playoffs. So it's like, who was he supposed to put out there? Was he supposed to suit up? Like, you losing your whole starting lineup pretty much, including Jalen Brunson, who was playing hurt. So it's like, again, I wouldn't say it's unfair, because of his history. But at the same time, man, like, what did they want him to do? Like, what was he supposed to do?
Yeah, it was they had a long list of guys that was injured, and we seen Brunson eventually got hurt. You know what I'm saying? They had a bad case of the injury bug. I think they got a because I think I'm interested to see how they approach this center position because
Mm-hmm.
the Isaiah Hardenstein I believe is a big loss, and I know Mitchell Robinson he got some game, but
But
he
he
ain't
always
never
hurt too.
healthy.
That's the thing. So
Yeah,
it's
he
like,
always out. Yeah.
and that's not because of minutes. It's not because he played like 23 minutes. That's
That's
it.
what he
Yeah.
had.
So it's like,
Right.
you know, I love what the Knicks are doing though, man. Like, you know, they were a laughing stock. And I don't want to see Stephen A. Smith if they ever do win the championship. That dude gonna lose his mind. He might show up like Shannon Sharp
Uh,
with the Black and Mile and the Hennessy. Like he might
Skip.
but yeah, man, like Tib is gonna have these guys ready. Though they got to be ready, and again, he's not the training staff, so they got to have these guys in condition and in shape for the grind of the season. Because when it gets to the second and third round of the playoffs, everybody hurt in some way, shape, or form or fashion in the NBA or in any sport. Once the grind just gets to you. So these guys got to get ready, man. They got to stretch. They got to eat right. They got to sleep right. All those things matter in the NBA, and frankly, some of them probably ain't doing those things. They rich. They eating steak and lobster every day.
oh, sure. Steve, you had to chime in on that?
Yeah, I didn't think it was the biggest deal as people was trying to make it. Like that was a legitimate statement. Who else the fuck you want me to play at that point? So like, yeah, like I do feel like he's done better, but it's almost like how I look with Eberflus. Well, I think that his cons is his cons, and I don't think they're gonna change that much. Eric Washington gonna be something that cover over those cons. I think that's what assistant coaches and coordinators and people are for. So that's why I just think that's all they need.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And what you said earlier about them having like somebody to kind of be like, "Hey, Tom, let's chill." In the regard, I think that'll be key for him too. But another thing can be true, like you guys pointed out, is that hey, he's pretty much calmed down a lot on that. But then it came to a point on who
There
else am
was
I
nobody
supposed
on
to
the
play?
Knicks. The Knicks 25th. No, there you go. Jalen Brunson was 12th in minutes in the season. So like, and he put up big numbers too.
Yeah,
He was like
He was
number
playing, yeah, he was playing McBride and everybody. So like he was playing them. Can't say he wasn't playing them.
and he was averaging 35 minutes a game.
I
So,
think that's pretty good for Brunson though. Not gonna lie. Like
you
how
feel
As a
about
me?
like
point
you?
guard, yeah.
35 minutes a game is not bad at all. Like at
No,
all.
no,
So
no.
like he just still he just has that moniker. So like people still think that he's the same. But you had Joel Embiid who was hurt and he was still playing a lot of minutes. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like I don't think it's the same.
All right. Well, shit. Y'all got anything left for this breaking news?
Hey
It's
man,
predictable. We knew this was happening.
that's what it is.
For sure. Well, we got it to Lloyd's comment. Before we go, we're going to holler at Rob real quick. He said the Bulls have a similar, I guess, roster to the Knicks height across the board as a team now, in my opinion. Obviously, not the same talent, though. Yeah, we shall
That's
see.
obvious. Yeah, the Bulls are work in progress. It's gonna be fun to see. It's gonna be fun to watch though. We finally getting our youth movement.
For sure, absolutely. But that is it from us, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go ahead and follow the show on all social media platforms at NBA Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns to NBA Central Show
What the hell
at
is that?
gmail.com.
Hey, he the cognac NB yak, baby.
You already know. But that's it from us, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get 2,000 subscribers. That's our next goal to the next milestone we're trying to hit. So go ahead and we kicking this thing up, being more consistent with it. Every Tuesday and Thursday is a guaranteed episode. And then anytime after that, we're going to hit y'all with the breaking news. And if we come up with something, feel like talking, we just going to hop up on this bit. But nonetheless, thank y'all so much. Y'all already know.